So the topic I want to talk about today is rather unusual, strange, innovative, because I'm talking about a new idea, a new task, a new job for a man. Now this could also apply to women, but for the sake of these talks, where I'm at right now, I'm addressing this to the male population. Men who have in some way feel or have felt that the society no longer provides solutions or answers to their problems, that no longer provides a fulfilling sense of what it is to be a man in the 21st century. To be a man, to be a true man, you must have a mission, a task, a goal. You must want to create a legacy. And any kind of society, any kind of government, any kind of establishment thinking is wanting to take you away from that legacy. And it's wanting you, as an individual, to sacrifice your manhood, your individuality, and become something according to their design. Now, if we go back to one of the greatest men who ever lived, who ever walked this earth, Lao Tzu, Gautama Buddha, Jesus Christ, people like that, right? Great sages, great men of wisdom like Don Juan. The Buddha, his last words were, "Be a lamp unto yourself. Be a lamp unto yourself." A light. Now, to be a light unto yourself is to be an original person, to be an individual, not to follow people, not to walk under their light, not to be in their shadow, but to be your own person, right? To be an individual, that which cannot be divided. And the Buddha's last words were, "Be a light unto yourself. Work out your own salvation with diligence." So when you examine those words, his last word was diligence. Now I was thinking, what is my mission in life? What is my task, my goal in life? To be diligent. Why? If I'm going to be a light unto myself, if I'm going to be a true man, an individual, a true individual, I have to be a light unto myself, right? So what does that mean? It means not following anyone, not following society, social conditioning, academic ideas, isms, feminism, chauvinism, patriarchy, traditionalism, conventionalism, and all the isms that make up our collective social knowledge, our tonal, if you like. So, as a man who understands the spirit, the Nagual, having spent, the best part of 20 years exploring this kind of stuff, then it is incumbent on me, it is my imperative, therefore, to find a way, to construct a way That is individual. Diligent. So then I must look at everything in my life. You must look at everything in your life if you want to be this kind of individual, if you want to bring your potential to manifestation. Okay, to the world, you've got to be a light unto yourself. You must be diligent in how you, for example, in your diet, how you eat, the way you exercise. Okay, the activities that you undertake, the things that you talk about, the things that you explore, that you study, that you read about, you have to be diligent about all these things because our most precious resource is time and not money, right? So we have to, first of all, realize that time is our most precious resource, right? So we have to be diligent about how we use our time because we've only got so many months and years, right? You look at the average person on the street. I was down on the street looking around today, and I thought, my God, what a pitiful sight humanity is in. I mean, yes, there are some good-looking people about in shape. The traditional alpha male or alpha female with good figures and all that, but that's the only part of their life they've got worked out. Or they might be successful in their career or in business, or have some kind of social status, have a nice house or whatever, but their lives they're bereft of meaning, of individuality. They are not a light unto themselves. There's no shine in their being. Okay, there's no spirit there. There's no connection with the totality, with himself, the Nagual, the spirit. So then, are those people going to become supermen or superwomen? Are they going to become Buddhas? Are they going to achieve their true original selves? And the answer has to be a definitive no. So for those who consider themselves like awakened people or red pill people, red pill men in this case, as is evidenced with some guys who call themselves MGTOW or men going their own way, staying away from undesirable women, like feminists, new feminists, who might declare, for example, that women should be equal in the social sphere, and then complain then when men protest and say, well, why should I pay for everything then if you've got an equal position in society and you want all the financial benefits that men provided for you in the first place, and now that we've given you these rights, then why we should then be as men providers and protectors in traditionally male dominated roles defined for men in society. Now, if we don't have to do that anymore as men, then we have more of an opportunity. We've got greater scope to become this light, this individual, because the Christ didn't live that way. The Buddha didn't live that way. He might have done it before and then he left behind. Didn't even need to get a divorce. We were living in different times then. There was no need to go through all this court system and punishment which disenfranchises men and gives it all to these types of narcissistic, spoiled Western women. And women that you just want to avoid if you want to become a man with a legacy. That you have to figure out these things with intelligence, with diligence, is what I'm saying. So really, the title, the job title, if there was to be one title and one title only for men, one career path, one employment choice, is to be a diligence agent. That's it. Now, what does it mean to be a diligence agent? It means diligent about the way you spend and manage your time. Diligent about the types of people you get involved with, about the types of women you date, about who you're going to have in your life and who you're not going to have in your life, depending on how they add to or take away from your energy, your goodness, your virtue, your values as a man. What values have you set in place that you can, in the likes of, in Paul Elam's words, for example, one of the leaders of the men's rights movements, if Penelope Cruz, this is what he said, if Penelope Cruz is giving you problems, then you have the power to show her the door. Through your own values, you can say, I'm not putting up with this bullshit. I am not going to be used and manipulated by this socially conditioned nonsense, that's dimming your interior light, that's stressing you and keeping you from being your best, so that you can't concentrate on creative projects, you can't concentrate on maximizing your energy potential in your body, in your finances. If she's draining your resources in some way, if society's doing that to you, if it's enslaving you, if your career is defining you in any way in which you are identified and attached to things that drain your energy, then I say that you're a slave. So you must start to, what can you do? If you're all tied up, you have to slowly untie the chains, the bad habits, the identifications, the conditioned reactions and responses that keep you enchained and enslaved to the social order, to the tonal of your times. So you have to, as a man, untangle all of this in order to be free, in order to be a lamp unto yourself. You have to be diligent about what you eat, who you spend time with, how you exercise, what exercises you do, what you talk and you think about, what is the content of your internal dialogue. Are your thoughts working for you or against you? A man who's depressed is using his thoughts to his thoughts are working against him. He says that I'm no good, that I don't matter, that my lifestyle is, not compatible with Western society. So he says, well, perhaps people think of me as, a troublemaker or a loser or an outsider, somebody, who is fit to be amongst stray dogs or locked up in prison. No, that person, they might have so much to offer in so many ways, but they're being ignored because they don't fit the traditional roles which have been put in place by medieval gynocentric society in order to define and enslave men, which was traditionally set up to serve aristocratic women, make men expendable, turn them into white knights, expendable on the battlefield, expendable in society. So, in a sense, it's a spiritual war. That way, we can look at life as a war. So, we have to be warriors, okay? We have to start being proactive in our awareness, in our attention, in our choices. Everything we do, everything we say, we have to be diligent, which is another word for impeccability. That is the purpose for which we are created as men. Not to be providers, not to be protectors, not to be romantic white knights and fall under the spell of romantic love and get destroyed by, in the process, like great kings and emperors have fallen because of their attachment to some destructive woman, whether that woman thinks she's a goddess or queen or whatever destructive, self-important, narcissistic impulse, and this can also apply to men, because of attachment and identification and social conditioning, which has limited us as individuals. Also applies to women, but I'm specifically addressing men here. So it's not a question of identifying oneself with MGTOW or as some mangina feminist supporting this politically correct, postmodern, sophistic crap, this valueless, spiritless, meaningless social world, in defining our worth in as successes in that, as I mean, it's not even there's no virtue in it, you know. We don't have to virtue signal. We don't have to white knight any women who would try and make us go along with that model, because we already have our own virtue. We have our own values set in place because we put them there. We took responsibility for our choices as men, as in individuals. We chose to become a lamp unto ourselves, and we decide the terms and conditions of our lifetime. Nobody else. In that way, we cannot be contracted, we cannot be bargained with, we cannot be, pigeonholed and categorized to belonging to some group. You know, we can't be limited in that way because the universe is unlimited. You know, we have to believe that to prosper and thrive and survive impeccably in the universe, then we have to realize that we have to be diligent. There's so many deceptions out there. There's so much information. You know, when you have a larger view of the universe, you see that there are forces in play that are always trying to control you, enslave you. And you have to be diligent to become aware of that. That's the only way that you are going to keep that light you're going to keep that light shining. You see? So you have to, not stand up for any of the bullshit. You have to be an individual, an outsider, a diligence agent. That's your role.